Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here and listening to my story. I am very grateful to be given this opportunity to tell my story, my personal story of emigrating to Canada. Even though it's a long time ago now, I still feel that I may have some insights that may help other newcomers to settle into their adopted country of Canada. We actually came to Canada twice. In 1980, my husband was offered a job with a Vancouver-based civil engineering company. So we were very fortunate in that we came from Britain, from an English-speaking country, to a job already here. However, we did not know a soul when we arrived. So in the beginning, we were very lonely, and it took a surprising amount of energy and really hard work to settle into this completely new life here in Canada. My husband spent long evenings studying because he had to write his exams to qualify as a Canadian civil engineer. And unfortunately, about 2 years after our arrival here, British Columbia slipped into a very deep recession. And this had a profound effect on us for the next 10 years. He was given the choice, because the recession deeply affected civil engineers. He was given the choice to either work a 3-day work week or relocate to northern Saskatchewan. We were broke. We went to northern Saskatchewan. There was no choice really there for us. And we landed there on a January day when the temperature was minus 35. So for somebody from South Africa, this was an unbelievable shock for me. And Dave is from England, also not used to such extreme temperatures. So we have many hair-raising tales that we can tell you about how the mistakes we made and how eventually we adapted to living in such an extreme climate. However, when the job finished 2.5 years later, there still wasn't any work. And we abruptly found ourselves relocated to the steamy jungles of Papua New Guinea. So from the frozen north, abruptly we found ourselves in the steamy jungles of Papua New Guinea, which was quite a change, I can tell you. During this time of great upheaval and change, we found ourselves really struggling with issues of identity. For me, it went 3 ways. Am I South African, where I was born and grew up? Am I English? After my marriage, am I now English? Or am I Canadian? Because I've been living in Canada for the past 8 years. And for Dave, he was born and grew up in the UK and had a deep and abiding affinity for Britain. And in the back of his mind, he nurtured this dream of returning home. He always had this dream of returning home. So when we finished the job in Papua New Guinea, we came to what then, to me, was home, which is Vancouver. And I was so happy to be here. I had still kept all the friends that we made right at the beginning and kept contact with them. We settled down and started building back up the community. And then out of the blue one day, Dave had a job offer from his old company in England, inviting him back to work. And for him, it was a dream came true. So once again, the family was uprooted, and we found ourselves back in the UK in 1990. So a huge wrench for me. I was incredibly sad because more and more I have come to feel that my life and our future was here in Vancouver, and this was truly where I want to belong and where I want to live. that we made the change, and miraculously, within a year, Dave came to the conclusion that actually it was right for us to be raising our family here in Canada, so we returned. So in the past 10 years, we had 12 different addresses. We just went through tremendous turmoil. So what are the things that I remember, and what do I carry with me through all this transition? Firstly, for me, it is the aspect of building community around me and getting to know my neighbors and settling into my local community. We had a young family, we met other families with young children, we got to know the schools. I was amazed at the openness of the schools towards parent volunteers. And so we got very involved with parent councils and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we had times of acute homesickness. It was very difficult at times to be away, especially through the death of our parents. But it was the community and our friends that supported us and carried us. And secondly, the other thing that is very important to me is the fact that Canada is a peaceful democracy. That means so much to me. I never take my citizenship for granted. I take it really seriously, and I try and vote in all the elections. We love having friends and family visit us so that we can show them this beautiful place that we live in. We're very proud of it. We have been involved in sponsoring refugees from desperate situations to Canada to make their home in Canada. And it is a tremendous lift to see them succeed and to see them become Canadian. And I'm very proud to say that about 2 weeks ago, our first grandchild was born in Lionsgate Hospital, a little girl called Eva. And her grandparents cannot wait to introduce her to the beauties and the wonders of this country that we now call our home. Thank you.